third place finish, although she led this tournament for a couple of rounds, let it slip away earlier today. Now she's going to have to try and go out and win it again. And up jumps the solid 8-pin. Not the way you want to start a match.
And a great opening shot by Wendy. Ball just driving a little too hard. Really bad break, but I talked to Wendy about leading and losing that lead this morning, and she said that she just didn't feel like she had anything, and she got frustrated, lost her confidence. So she's not really sure if she just had 3 great days and 1 bad day, or if the condition was slightly different today.
Oh, no. What did I tell you about those spares on the left-hand side? If you're not aggressive with velocity, and if you're not careful, the ball will hook. And after a perfect opening shot and a bad break, she opens the door for Carol Gianotti. And Carol gives it right back to her by leaving the 4-6.
And that's got to relieve Wendy's mind just a little bit. She'll be able to get right back into the match.
Normally those unforced errors will come back and they'll just kill you in the end. We'll wait and see how this match works out. But normally you don't win many games in the championship round by missing single pin spares, or for that matter, throwing away pins on count like Carol Gianotti just did.
And as we talked about in the opening, shooting spares, back to the basics. That's what the players need to focus on tonight. It doesn't look like it's going to be as high scoring as we expected. They have to go back to that spare shooting.
An adjustment with a piece of tape. Maybe she lost that ball on the opening shot. That's why it hooked up and went through the nose.
Fifth appearance this year for Carol.
Plenty of room. And the 8-pin topples left with just the 2. She's got one of the most unusual grips, drilling procedures. The bridge between your 2 fingers. She's got about, gosh, what has she got? About 5/8 or something like that in between there?
About 1/4 of an inch or more, a little more, you're right. I asked her about that. It's very unusual. She said that helps her stay behind the ball. That if she puts her fingers closer together, she tends to rotate her hand too soon.
Goes over the top a little bit, maybe gives it a little bit of an elbow shot. Of the 5 players in practice, Wendy Macpherson by far and away had the best shot. Tickles the 10, but it won't fall, and so back to the 1-pin spare.
She's going to regroup, get up there, and just make a good shot at this 10-pin.
One thing I like about Wendy's game, when she gets locked into a certain type of condition, she's a player that's able to repeat time and time and time again. Smile there. She says, all right, I picked up that spare. Let's forget about the one in the first and move on from here.
And that's what you had to do this week. Forget about what happened before and just keep going.
Last title was the Samstown National Pro-Am back in 1990. She's a former LPBT Rookie of the Year back in 1986. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go out on the limb just a little bit right now, Jan. This championship round is for the taking, as far as I'm concerned, with Wendy Macpherson, if she'll just go out and make shots. And I normally don't do that.
It definitely appears that she has the better shot.
Maybe split left now for Carol Gianotti, who will have to splice the 3 and the 10.
And Carol's going to need to make an adjustment. She's going to need to go to a shinier ball or move her feet left, see if she can find some conditioner in the middle. And she's about the 7th board, going pretty direct. The ball's just hooking way too early.
Tries to back door it, and she does. Nice adjustment there. See, that's one of the subtle things that the professionals do at this level. She just kind of flattened her hand out and backed that thing into the 3 and the 10.
There are about 2 of them, Carol and Robin Romeo, 2 that do that on tour. And they very rarely miss them.
2 very good spare shooters. I think Carol Gianotti senses, Jan, don't you, that Wendy's got a pretty good shot and that she's going to have to do something here to kind of keep pace?
She has to know that. I'm sure she's making moves now. I couldn't get a good view of what angle she just played on that lane.
No problem at all with the 10 pin. Now Well, let's see where this match is going to take us. Wendy Macpherson's thrown the ball in the pocket 3 shots in a row. Finally got her first strike in the third. If she doubles here, she leads by 14. This time dices up the rack, and that's the first double here for Wendy Macpherson.
Wendy getting the ball to go very long, very late finish on it. She has a great angle into the pocket.
Some of the high games that were shot here this week, and 2 of our top 5 finalists were among those that almost shot 300s.
And she's around 10 going out to about 7, so she's a little bit more into the heavy conditioner.
Well, I think one of the things that I like about what she's doing, too, she's using a shiny ball, first of all, but she spins the ball perhaps a little more than any of the other top 5 finalists, which allows that ball to go a little longer and hit good in the back end.
She does. She also gets the ball farther out on the lane, which reduces the hook also.
Excellent shot for Carol Gianotti, who's trying to fight back. If she doubles here, she'd be down by just 14.
And Carol feels she's been bowling very well as of late. She just missed a couple of the television shows, just not winning the matches, as you mentioned earlier.
Big shot there, though, for Carol Gianotti, who doubles up, and she's down by 14. Well, many of the players have used chiropractors throughout the national tour, and Dr. Doug Wilson was one of them this week.
I got a telephone call last week from a colleague of mine from Hemet, and he asked if I would volunteer my time to treat some of the lady bowlers while they were in town in Santa Maria. I was able to do that and had a great time doing it, and was very surprised at how many of the bowlers see chiropractors and respond to chiropractic care. I especially had fun treating Carol Gianotti, and it's very gratifying to see her in the finals tonight.
My health club always had Pert Plus in the locker room. It cleans, conditions. It's great. And one day they switched.
Well, the roommates are starting to heat up a little bit. Carol Gianotti answered with a double. That was a classy couple of strikes.
That's right. It's interesting. 3 of the players today all travel together. There's a group of 5 of them that travel.
Big shot here. Uh-oh, left of the target and through the nose for the baby split. There you see how many times after a long commercial break does a player come up, lose a little speed, and pull the ball.
You see it once or twice every television show. She actually, pulled the ball just quite a bit. Actually, her hand probably swelled up. That happens a lot while you wait during the break.
Tough to keep that rhythm and timing. Oh, he used every millimeter of that bowling ball to get the 3-pin to finally drop.
She almost misses. Yeah, what's that ball?
My.
Oof.
That was that luster
Refused to
she
get
has
the
on that
3
bowling ball
and
that
the
knocked
10.
that 3-pin over.
As Mike Durbin would say, she made it by a freckle. And comes back with a very solid shot. It's a question of execution for Wendy Macpherson. If she executes, she's going to win. If she doesn't, Carol Gianotti may just sneak up and get her. Carol's down by 12. If she strikes here, it's a 2-pin match. Oh, the roomies are going at it.
And I wonder how the ride home's going to be.
I was going to say they'll have plenty of time to talk about it when they head to Los Angeles for the U.S. Open.
I talked to them about it. They all said that they were happy for whoever won, but of course they all wanted it to be themselves.
Of course, the third and final traveling companion you mentioned is Sandra Jo Shirey. She's the top seed. Gianotti with a wall shot, and she has dug deep down inside to come up with a 4-bagger. Let's see if Wendy Macpherson can answer the challenge as Carol Gianotti takes over the lead.
Leading by 8 pins, Carol. If Wendy strikes here, though, she'll go back into the lead by 2 pins.
And once again, problems with the right-hand lane. Looked like she turned that one early again. Just didn't seem to want to trust it on that right-hand lane.
She's not. She probably missed by about 3 boards. And you can see she only arced the ball out about 2 boards coming back in. She had been sending it maybe 4 boards to the right.
8 and out for Wendy Macpherson, who had control of the match before we went to commercial break, and since we have come back, the wheels have come off.
Very close on that spare attempt. Just needed to touch the 3-pin, and she would have had it. We saw Donna Adamick convert that spare last week.
It's fun to watch. 213, still the best possible score for Wendy Macpherson Papanos. Look at that, completely different shot on the left-hand lane. Well, Wendy's going to be kicking herself if she gets beat in this one tonight, because not very often does a player get the kind of condition they like when everybody else is kind of really looking around for one.
And then you don't make the quality shots you want to make.
You're not kidding. Carol Gianotti. An opportunity as the 210 is left on lane 36, and that didn't look like too bad a shot.
It looked as though that ball would finish. Just into the conditioner a little more. Didn't get that flip at the back end.
Trying to slide the 2 over, and she hits it flush on. Not going to make it doing that.
I don't think that's what she wanted to do.
No, me neither. Possible 211. This one is going to be close as they head down the stretch. If she strikes out, she shoots 211. Wendy still has a possible 213. Up quickly. Nice shot for Carol Gianotti, who gets the first one.
She needs 2 more.
Had a 4-bagger from the 5th through the 8th. Had an opportunity to just close Wendy Macpherson out of the match, and she wasn't able to do so in the 9th frame.
But she did trust the ball, though. She did miss to the right.
Good point. Messenger 710. Bad break there for Carol Gianotti, who, if she spares, will shoot 200, which means that Wendy Macpherson needs a strike. And it'll be interesting, Jan Schmidt, because it'll have to come on the right-hand lane, a lane that she has struggled with the last 2 shots.
Right, she's been high both shots.
She knows that, right?
She knows it. She's going to make a move a little bit left with her feet.
All right.
Hey, Wendy Macpherson's shotgun spin.
More room. Right hit and a strike. She escapes. By the slimmest of margins. Almost gave away that match.
Almost. She still needs some pin count here, too. Nine on this first ball would lock it up.
More room. That better hook.
She's up to my 1.
A spare and she wins. If she gets 1, we go to sudden death.
And if she gets neither one.
But that won't happen.
We did see her hook by an 8-pin.
You're right. Up quickly. And a very close, tough match between 2 very good friends on the national tour. Carol Gianotti saying, I let one get away, and Wendy Macpherson saying to herself, boy,